We're here with Wes Schroeder, Olentangy Orange football, joining us for week number 13 with Storied rivals, round 3 of the playoffs, and taking on Olentangy Liberty, the defending state champs this week. And I appreciate you making time for us, Coach, and joining us as always, man. It's always good to talk to you. And I want to start with the first round bye that you had. I know you obviously played last week against Berlin, got a win, but you had a first round bye, which clearly it didn't seem like you were jet lagged or sluggish at all with that. Some teams do struggle with that if you do have a first round bye or something like that. But you had a 43-14 win over Berlin. And I guess what were your thoughts on having that bye week? Some teams love it to get some rest for their players, but some teams would rather keep playing and just keep building on the momentum that they've already built. What were your thoughts going into that bye week a couple weeks ago?
We liked having it. We got some good practices in. We got competitive
Yeah.
with it a little bit. We took Monday and Friday off, and then we had a full blown practice Saturday morning. We got a chance to prepare for some teams throughout that week and get healthy. And some teams would, I would think we looked at it. We would have played Thomas Worthington if it would have been last year's model, and we would rather have had the bye than have that game. Just the risk of injury and just
Sure.
we can stay focused and stay sharp. We were okay with it. So I appreciate it. And, like we mentioned before we started, my wife had a baby on that Friday night. So it's really ironic timing, really fortunate timing. So,
I was gonna say that worked out maybe the best in the best way possible.
yeah, it did. No doubt. It was wild. Watched the Berlin game with our coaches and got home about 9:30 or 10. And then, we went into the hospital at 11. So it was like perfect timing.
Unbelievable
Yeah,
stuff.
12:30, 12:55 exactly. So it was right after the game. We went in, had the baby. I wasn't at practice Saturday morning, but we had a good full padded practice Saturday morning. Got after it a little bit, and then we were in game week on Monday. So
Good stuff. Well, then, with Berlin, they were a team that they started the year 0-5, I think, and then they win 6 in a row. So they were kind of red hot coming into the playoffs. What
yeah,
did you like about the performance against them to, pretty much shut them down? And you've done what you've been doing all year, score 40 plus points, and you hold them to under 20, which you've done that with all except one team this year.
yeah. We did some good stuff. We moved the ball and made some big plays. We were figuring it out. I think we had 5 different players with plays that went for over 40 yards. If Jake's, I'm not sure how long Jake's touchdown was, but and then MC's kick return, Trade had a long one, Zane had a long one, Fick had a long one, and Levi, probably our most explosive guy, wasn't one of them. So it was we were
Right.
explosive. We won the explosive battle, and we had took care of the ball, and we did some good stuff. So we kicked 3 field goals in the first half. One as time expired, so that was good to see too. So we did a variety of things that we were pleased with.
Yeah, because the offense and defense has been good pretty much, all year long. But how big is it to have special teams become, everybody knows it's an important facet of the game. If you have special teams errors, then that could end up losing you a game, even if you do play well on offense and defense. How nice is it that you're having the special teams contribute and play good football? Like you said, you get good returns, you're making field goals and everything like that.
Yeah, we were fortunate. We didn't know if we were gonna have a kicker. Tyler Gibson. Gibby was on our team last year. He kicked for our JV team, and he did well. And then we had him kicking, in the summer and stuff. And like he's gonna be good enough. So he's done well. He's kicked a few touchbacks, made some field goals, and we did give up a big return, but we played pretty sound for the most part, and we gave up a fake, but we were in position. They just made a play. That'd been a good play against our base defense. So. Yeah, it was good. I thought they played well, and they just not asking our special teams to win us a ton of games, but we just don't want them to lose games for us. So
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you've got Liberty this week, the defending state champs, who you played just a couple weeks ago, so pretty recent. Is there comfort in the familiarity of the game that you just played with them a couple weeks ago? I know it was close through about 2.5 quarters before you were able to pull away and you won 26-14. And that game was, for a league championship. So there was a lot on the line in that game and even more on the line this week as, the winner moves on to the regional final. But is there comfort in the familiarity of playing against them, knowing that you maybe only need to make a few adjustments to make that game a little bit cleaner through 4 quarters?
yeah, we know each other well. They know us well. We know them well. It's no different than Berlin last week, or potentially UA next week. Like UA, we've played. Normally, you get to playoffs, you get some
Right.
unique teams, and we've been playing rematches. We played Tangy and UA last year. This year it's Berlin and Liberty, and um, I mean, I don't know. It's there's two sides to it. I mean, we're gonna have a good atmosphere because it's who we're playing. We
Right.
know each other well. The rivalry aspect of it. Ironically, a lot of their coaches on their staff coached here, and a lot of the coaches on our staff coached there. So we have, four guys that spent time at Liberty here, and I think they have 4 or 5 guys that spent time at Orange on their staff. So it's like we're very familiar with one another, just as people, everything. So John and I are friends, and yeah, it's a unique situation. I probably prefer to play somebody we don't know, but we look
Hmm.
forward to the challenge, and I think it's going to be a fun game, and I think it'll be a good atmosphere for our kids.
Is there a particular reason you'd prefer to play like a new team that you would have to completely kind of start from the ground as far as scouting?
Well, they just don't know us as well, They like,
That's fair. Yeah.
I think these guys know our strengths as well as anybody, and we know what they do, and um, it's not that I don't want to play. I'm not saying that,
Sure. Oh,
but,
yeah. I'm not.
but
I know
it's
you. I know
but
you're not saying that. Yeah.
it's just different when you know each other. We're playing. We played
Yeah.
weeks ago, and you got the revenge
It-
factor. But I don't.
right. And there's nowhere to hide or
Yeah,
anything like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, and it's good. I like it from the atmosphere we're going to get for our final home game for our seniors. Um,
Yeah.
but I do think it's fun to play teams that you haven't played before. We did it at Grand
Sure.
Gulf.
Yeah.
Even when I was at Liberty years ago, we played teams we never saw a lot. So, but that's part of it. It's when you're in a good district like we are, you get this far, you're gonna see each other. So.
Right. Yeah. Now, how much does the weather, especially when you get to this time of year, like we just had snow a couple days ago, and obviously it's much colder, and we might see some rain or anything like that over the next couple weeks as we move further into these playoffs. Does that impact play calling at all for you, as far as how much you run the ball versus throw the ball? I know we had snow this week. I think this Friday is going to be pretty decent or anything. But does the cold or the weather at all impact the way you call games from an offensive standpoint?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you won't know until you get in there. Like Friday night, we didn't know, and then as the week went on, we saw it was going to be clear, which we wanted it to be clear. Um, I mean, yeah, it'll dictate a little bit, but we're going to be who we are. I mean, we feel like we're a pretty balanced team. So, um, it depends on how they play it too, what they give you. Because if it's a sloppy game, they may give you some different looks. Like
Right.
these guys. Like last time we saw them, they came out in zero, which they've never done. Berlin, ironically, came out in zero, almost like their coaches know each other and work in the same buildings and talk through that. But we hit an
Sure.
under touchdown when they came out in zero because we had a feeling it was coming. So yeah, I don't know. It depends on what you get. It depends on what you get. So weather wise. So
And how cool has it been to just, so I know this new format and everything, it shrinks down to 12 teams, but to be able to play home games, and you kind of mentioned it a little bit, the atmosphere that you're going to have the last home game for your kids on Friday against Liberty. But how nice has it been? You have that bye and then you play 2 home games in a row. I mean, what's that been like?
it's yeah. We love playing at home. We have one of the best Friday night atmospheres. I feel like it's we get good turnouts. We get good student section. Our band's fantastic. You don't
Hmm.
have to get on a bus. You show up. You're at. You can go
Sure.
home. So we like playing. Um, we like playing at home. So yeah, we feel very fortunate. And we earned it. We earned that right. So
Yeah.
we like it for sure.
Yeah, I love being at Orange games. Any game that I've been to the last couple of years, it's always a good atmosphere, and it's going to be another good one on Friday. And I appreciate you making time for me this morning, Coach, to talk football for 10 minutes, man. And you guys have had an outstanding season, and best of luck against Liberty and the rest of the way in your playoff run.
Thank you.